This year marks 20 years since Outkast released Speaker Box and The Love Below, a double album serving as the first solo project from both Big Boi and Andre 3000. And in those 20 years, we have been waiting and waiting, hoping that we would someday get another solo album from Andre. But as each year goes by, it feels less and less likely that this dream will become a reality. In a 2019 interview with Rick Rubin, he said, "My focus is not there. My confidence is not there. I haven't been motivated to do a serious project. I'd like to, but it's just not coming." And while that is disheartening to know, I think in some way it's because Andre has already given us his whole heart on The Love Below. Even with multiple classic albums as Outkast, The Love Below will always be his magnum opus, the moment where he was truly free to let his whole heart out on record, showing us his whole self and all of his influences. The album blends hip-hop together with jazz, soul, and funk, and it changed the landscape of music forever, opening the door for future hip-hop artists to blend genres musically and be more vulnerable lyrically. Without this album, there would be no 808s and Heartbreak, no Drake, no Tyler the Creator, and no Kendrick Lamar. Or at least they wouldn't be the artists they are today without The Love Below setting the example. The album was recorded at Andre's home in Los Angeles, which helped Andre feel more comfortable with being his pure, unfiltered self on record. Originally conceived as the soundtrack to a film, this record is incredibly cinematic. You can close your eyes and see the music dancing off the walls of the darkness when you listen. The songs are blended with skits, interludes, and instrumentals in a way that no two of the songs sound the same. The album is constantly evolving from moment to moment. It starts with a beautiful string orchestra, then moves right into a lone piano, with Andre giving us the intro to the album. The concept of The Love Below is that Andre is looking for love, trying to find the perfect woman, and in the intro he sets up his quest, wondering where he could find her. And that goes right into Love Hater, which blends jazz with psychedelic rock. Andre's performance sounds like something off of the Broadway stage, and the instrumentation sounds like if the Jimi Hendrix Experience played at a small jazz club. All of these tracks except for one are produced by Andre himself, and it's his full expression, him producing, rapping, and singing his own hooks, which paved the way for artists like Mac Miller, J. Cole, and Tyler the Creator to author their own artistry a decade and a half later. Love Hater is important because it sets up Andre's arc for the remainder of the album. The song shows him wanting the superficial aspects of love, but unable to fully commit to love itself. And the very next song is a wake-up call for him. On the God interlude, Andre talks directly to God, who he discovers to be a woman. In talking to her, he's able to see his foolishness and what he's looking for, and it puts his quest for love in perspective. Happy Valentine's Day follows that up with a true banger. The song is partially from the point of view of Cupid himself, complaining that nobody believes in him anymore, which is why love is so hard to see in the world today. Spread is the most underappreciated song on the album. The beat is electric, blending an organ with this boisterous drum pattern, and the song's story has Drake courting the next girl who he thinks may be the one. The song is so passionate, playing off of the song prior, which focused on how people were too caught up in the superficial trappings of the modern world to see love. The song also has one of my favorite touches on the album, as halfway through the song, right over the horn solo, we hear the sound effects of a couple rushing home to do the deed, and the track ends with roosters waking up the couple, which takes the audience into the very next track. Where Are My Panties is one of the best skits in music history to me. At a crucial point in the album, this track shows the point of view of both Andre and the woman, letting us hear both their thoughts while they think the other is asleep. One of my favorite artistic flourishes on the album happens 2 times on this track, once for her,
where are my panties?
And once for him.
But what if she's the one?
He repeats these lines, symbolizing that these statements are something that they both have said numerous times, sort of like the multiverses clashing in on themselves. She has been in this situation before, and has to worry about how the man is perceiving her at that moment. And Andre contemplated if she's the one, which is something that he's asked many times before for many different women, and he will ask himself again many times in the future. But in that moment, he truly believes it, that she might be the one, which leads us right into the next song, Prototype. On this song, he's in awe of her perfection. The track perfectly captures that glowing phase, right after you meet that someone special, unable to see any of their flaws, and knowing in your heart that they are perfect, even if it's just your heart talking, and not your head. She Lives in My Lap has Dre and the woman in a state of flux, in that medium point somewhere between friends with benefits and admitting that he wants her to be the one. His voice is slightly pitched up for this song, making him almost unrecognizable to where he was just a song earlier. Just like their new relationship, which is already turning out different than he hoped.
1, 2, 3.
The next song is almost hard to talk about, because it exists beyond the album. Hey Ya is one of the biggest songs of the 21st century, and one of the greatest pop songs of all time. When it comes on in the flow of the album, it's almost hard to keep your mind within the Love Below narrative, and not just be teleported to a throwback dance party. But nonetheless, this song is very important to what the album is saying at its core. Andre explains, "This song is pretty much about the state of relationships in the 2000s. It's about some people who stay together in relationships because of tradition, because somebody told them, you guys are supposed to stay together, but you pretty much end up being unhappy for the rest of your life." He said the song isn't autobiographical. It's more like fantasies, or tangents based on real life. Moments from my life spark a thought when I'm writing. The story was set in the 50s, so the song was me trying to do a Woody Allen kind of thing, a humorous kind of honesty. That last line is interesting to me. Him comparing it to a Woody Allen movie makes so much sense. This album is almost like a romantic comedy at first viewing. The songs are about love and are light, quotable, and danceable, but really within the DNA of the art. It's Andre looking at love, life, and humanity as things that he will always be searching for answers about. As iconic as Hey Ya is, he follows that up with a song that's just as amazing. Roses is an epic, dare I say the Bohemian Rhapsody of the 2000s. Every word is enunciated perfectly and delivered with such purpose. Any time this comes on, everybody I know stops what they're doing to sing along every word. And the song even has the lone big boy verse on the album, so it's actually the only true Outkast song on here. After that comes another skit, and it's amazing. Leaving the real life settings and tone of the previous skit, this one feels like it's out of a classic vaudevillian stage show. Andre and Farnsworth Bentley channel the great Abbott and Costello Who's on First bit, as they go back and forth with some quick, witty wordplay, and it leads right into Behold a Lady, which is the club song on the album. The song sounds like a usual 2003 club banger, but the lyrics call attention to the very woman of the club scene, and how hard it was for him to find a classy lady. I also have to point out the way that he opens the song, saying,
Sophistiphone, aristocats, distinguished dogs, clean up your act.
Because that might be the coolest formation of words ever put to music. The second half of the album gets a little darker in its sonic language, as Andre's character unfortunately continues to struggle in his quest for love. The song Pink and Blue has this ominous feeling like he's lost, and looking for a connection, rapping about trying to find an older woman to love. Love and War chronicles the tumultuous hot and cold nature of a relationship. You can hear the cynical side to his romanticism really show as the album goes on, with his hope waning as time goes. Even the song She's Alive, which is an ode to his mother, has some sad undertones. His love for his mother is obviously different than the love that he's searching for, but you can hear that same pain and passion when he sings about both of these loves. In the beginning of the album, he played the role of Cupid, the ambassador of love, but on Dracula's wedding he plays the role of Dracula, the most romantic of all the classic monsters, still looking for a woman to be his queen, but this time the relationship is based in fear, capturing where he is at this moment of the album's arc, of him slowly losing faith in love itself. The letter is the following interlude and leads right into my favorite thing, which is a very interesting entry into the tracklist. A cover of the iconic song, most known for its rendition by John Coltrane, Andre still plays it as a traditional jazz song, but has this unrelenting over-sequenced drum pattern all the way through it, almost overpowering the instrumentation, symbolizing the distractions that the modern world constantly has, so that we can't pay full attention to the love that's right there, underneath it all. Take Off Your Cool has Andre and Norah Jones telling their lovers to take off their cool and be themselves. Coming right after My Favorite Things, I feel like this is a track that often gets overlooked, but it's not a coincidence that this is one of the quietest songs on here, completely acoustic, with no sampling or distortion, simply the real artists, just like they're asking their lovers to be, their real selves, with no distractions. Vibrate is the denouement of the story. On the song, Andre has almost given up on his quest for love, with the lyrics focusing on being solo, both in masturbation and also being in control of your own destiny, and not waiting for someone else to live your life. And the album concludes with a day in the life of Andre Benjamin. This is such a fascinating song to end the project with, almost 5 minutes of straight rapping, with no sung hooks or anything. a complete departure from the rest of the project. The song details a lot of Andre's life story up to this point. I love that the song title has incomplete in parentheses, because it shows that the life of Andre Benjamin is not complete after this, and his quest will continue on. This is one of the defining albums for the 21st century, because Andre put his entire heart into it. I don't think we will ever get another Andre 3000 album, and that's okay, because The Love Below will live in all of our hearts forever, which is right where it belongs. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a while since I made a deep dive video on just one album like this, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Special thanks to my patrons who are listed on the screen. My next video will be a deep dive on the career of Kool Keith, and that topic was voted on by the patrons, so if you want to vote for the topic next month, make sure to head over there and check it out. Let me know if there's any other albums you'd want to see me do a deep dive like this on. As always, I got a lot more headed your way, so stay tuned, stay safe, and stay deaf. Thanks for watching.